Hey everybody, I am going to do a quick demo video for you today on shading your still life using oil pastels and using value to create three-dimensional form. So we want our still life to look as realistic as possible, and in order to do so we need to use value. Value is one of the 7 elements of art. It's the change from light to dark in a color. And form is something that is three-dimensional. So your still life has three-dimensional objects in it, and we want them to look that way. So we're going to use value. If you can see, this is a finished example that I did a while back of a still life of a basket with a vase and a piece of wood. I have my 3 objects, and they vary height, and they also overlap, and they're sitting on a table. So just make sure your still life includes those things, and make sure that your drawing is pretty large so that you have space to shade in. Get that angled right for you. So just like on the practice lesson that you guys just did, shading in a sphere, you want to pick a direction where your light is coming from. Now I've already started this here with my vase. You can see that my lighter colors are on this side of the vase, which means that my light is coming from this corner. So you want to stick to one direction that your light is coming from and use that for the entire still life. Okay, so if I'm going to work here on my flowers, I'm going to use my oil pastels, and make sure you have a black, a white, and a gray. Those are going to be your colors you're going to use to change the value. Make sure you clean your oil pastels, especially the white, before you start with a paper towel so it's nice and clean. My tip keeps breaking, so I need to peel some of this off here. Alright, so I'm going to make my flowers blue and pink, I think. So I can just start by slowly filling in this space with some color, and you'll notice that it doesn't fully color in the area. Okay, you can see the paper through. That's okay, because I'm going to blend some white on top to mix that light value. Now my still life is outlined with a black Sharpie. You do not have to do that before you start to color. You can if you want to, but you don't have to. It might be a nice option for when you're finished to make everything pop. Now as I work my way over to this side, my color will get a little bit darker. And what you could do here is you could even blend in a darker color in with the blue. So I have this dark purple here that I'm just going to mix in as I go over to the right side of my paper. Just remember, just like in your practice that you did with the sphere, make sure when you add the black, you add it in very lightly, because it will darken your color really quickly. And oil pastels don't erase, so we know we have to really think through what we're doing before we do it. Okay, and then I would repeat that throughout all of my flowers. Now I'm going to put a little bit of purple on the inside of this one, and to lighten it I'm going to use a lighter pink as well. Pink is a light color along with my white, just to do a little color mixing. Oil pastels are great mixing tools, so I encourage you to mix more than one color together. We've learned a lot about intermediate colors, blue, violet, red, violet, those types of colors. So use your oil pastels to make those kind of colors, to make a mix and vibrant on your still life. Okay, so as I continue with that, I'll play with my lights and my darks, keeping it light on this side and dark on this side, and I do have a light blue here, so I could use my light blue rather than adding white to this side, because that's my lighter value already. Highlights and shadows. So a highlight is an area where light is really shining or casting a bright shine on something, especially materials that are made out of glass. So this vase here, since the light is shining here, I put this really deep highlight of white on top. Now, you want to first blend your colors before you add your highlight because it goes on top. But right about there where that shine would hit would be my highlight. A shadow, let's see if I turn you down here, there might be a shadow casted on the table here from the vase, so I can add that in lightly with my black, my solid black. That would be a shadow. So highlights and shadows are another aspect you want to add to your still life to give it some great finishing touches as well. So let's look at this pear here real quickly. This is a pear. I'm going to make it a green pear. And I found this light green that I can use for the top where the light is hitting. I still want to blend some white in with it because I can see through the paper. Adding white really just mixes that color and makes it a solid color so you can't see through the page anymore. And I'm going to hop back to this green again. Oh, if you guys can see that, sorry. Back to this green. Shade in where they connect. And I'm actually going to mix this green in with a little bit of a darker green on top. Sorry, my oil pastel fell underneath the table. There we go. I'm going to mix a little bit of that darker green in as we get closer to the bottom of the pear where it's going to get darker. Okay, so a little bit of black. Remember, just a tiny, I say a tiny tickle of black. And then I can put that green right back on top. So every so often you really want to take your artwork and hold it away from yourself. Sometimes if you're too close to your work, you can't really see what's happening or going on and what you like and what you might need to change. So every now and then really take a chance and step back from your work and notice what's happening. And hopefully some of your objects are going to start to look three-dimensional. If they don't, try playing with the lights and the darks a little bit more. And again, if you want to add a Sharpie outline around everything, that'll work. Remember, once you shade something in, you can come in and add some texture lines on top. Okay, maybe if I wanted to add some polka dots or something to this vase, I would color it in, blend the oil pastels in first with that orange, and then come back on top with my details. Okay, think about the big stuff first and the small stuff second. Okay, so I hope you have fun doing this. Please get a hold of me if you have any questions or concerns, and have fun. Bye, guys. Bye.